A Father's Lesson. It was a quiet afternoon, and little Aryan sat by his father under the shade of the big banyan tree. His father, Dhruv, had a serious but gentle look on his face. "Papa," Aryan asked, "what happens when someone dies? Why do we burn the body?" Dhruv smiled softly and put his arm around Aryan. "Ah, my boy, that's a good question. Let me tell you a story about why it's important for us to burn the body and perform the last rites." Aryan's eyes lit up with curiosity. He loved his father's stories. "You see," Dhruv began, "when someone dies, their soul, what we call Atma, leaves the body. The body is like a shirt we wear, and the soul is who we really are. When it's time to move on, the soul doesn't need the body anymore. It needs to go to its next journey, maybe to be born again, or maybe to reach moksha, which is like freedom, where the soul no longer has to come back to this world." Aryan nodded, trying to picture it. "So why burn the body, Papa?" "Burning the body," Dhruv explained, "helps the soul break free completely from the body. When we light the fire, it's like a signal that says, the soul is ready to move on. Fire is sacred, my son, and it purifies everything it touches. It helps the soul let go of its last attachments to this world." Aryan leaned in, hanging on every word. "When the body is burned," Dhruv continued, "what remains is the ashes. We take those ashes and return them to the river, to the water, just like how the body is made of the elements: earth, water, fire, air, and sky. This way, we give the body back to nature. But the most important part is that this process allows the soul to move forward, to rise higher and get closer to moksha." "But what happens if we don't burn the body, Papa?" Dhruv thought for a moment and then said, "If we don't, the soul might get confused. It might linger, unsure of where to go, stuck between this world and the next. That's why the last rites are so important. It's our duty to help our loved ones move on peacefully." "And what about Sanatana Dharma, Papa?" Aryan asked, repeating the words he'd heard many times before. Dhruv smiled again. "Sanatana Dharma, our eternal duty, teaches us to live in harmony with the universe. When we perform these rites, we are honoring that duty, showing respect for the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. By burning the body and releasing the soul, we help keep that cycle going, and we show love for the person who has passed." Aryan nodded seriously. "So one day, when you're old, I'll do the same for you?" Dhruv hugged Aryan tightly. "Yes, my son, and when you do, you'll help my soul fly free, like a bird released from its cage, so I can find my next journey." The two sat in silence for a moment, the weight of the lesson settling over them, with the banyan tree standing tall like a witness to their eternal bond. This story conveys the essence of why cremation and last rites are so important in Hinduism,